Later this week, the South Sioux City Little League team will take to the field in the Little League Midwest Regionals Tournament. And joining us today on Coach's Corner is the Majors head coach, Chris Kruger. And I want to thank you for being here, Coach.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's kind of start with the formation of this team. Kind of walk the people through how this team kind of comes together.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the end of the regular season, Cardinal Little League invites all players that participated in Little League for the year for this age group, which is 11 and 12-year-olds, to do a postseason tryout. And our board members then for Cardinal Little League do evaluations, taking a look at all aspects of baseball, everything from hitting to infield, outfield work, but probably most importantly, pitching, just because in any type of a tournament format, you're going to need lots of pitching. And so really we're just looking for kids that can throw strikes at that point in time. So it was really big for us in our state championship win. So, but that's really what they're looking at, is all aspects of baseball there.
Absolutely, and obviously a big win for you guys to get to this point. Walk us through some of the biggest moments, maybe some tough losses with some good lessons, and obviously the biggest wins of the season.
So we started down in Blair, Nebraska. That was our district tournament play. We had a couple big wins where we had won 8-0. And then we had a really tough opponent in Blair, Nebraska. We were able to manufacture some big innings there, close that gap, and that's really when we start to see these guys start to show their grit and their resiliency. And so we carried that over into Kearney, where we went to Kearney, and state tournament is 2 weekends long. And so that first weekend, we started out with the team from Omaha Memorial, actually beat them in extra innings. So we beat them in extra innings, regular game length is 6 innings. We went 8 innings, ended up winning 3-2. And so that was really when these guys knew that they could do this. And so we ended up following up that next day with a 2-0 win over Hastings, which advanced us into the following weekend, the final weekend of state tournament play. And in that second weekend, we faced Kearney, who has a tremendous team. They've advanced 12 of the last 15 years to the regional tournament, and we beat them 1-0 to advance into the championship game. So that was a big win for us. It allowed us to be in a position where then the team coming through the losers bracket would have to beat us twice. Unfortunately, we did get beat in that first championship game. It was another 1-0 game. And so it was tough to come back because the game is immediately following. So to come off an emotional loss like that, again, just shows the resiliency that these kids have. And so we end up winning the championship game 4-3. And it was just a lot of really close games. Our defense played really well. And, you know, we had an average runs allowed per game of just over 1 run.
Wow.
So
that's pretty impressive, and obviously it's got to be a fun group to coach. And I was at a practice last week, and it was lively, and a ball hit a kid in the rear end, and everyone's laughing. It was pretty loose. Kind of walk me through what the most enjoyable aspect of coaching this group of boys
Well, you know, so what's really nice about being from a small community like South Sioux City is these kids know each other. So the chemistry is there. You know, they play Little League against each other. Some of them are on the same team. But, you know, these kids play competitive sports, whether it's basketball, football, wrestling. They know each other. They play well together. So they have great team chemistry. And the other major benefit is all these kids go to the same school. And so they know each other, and that makes it really easy to coach, and they have a lot of fun together. And that's when they play their best baseball, is when they're having fun. Most enjoyable moment for me was that championship win, when that final fly ball was caught into left field, and seeing these kids just embrace the moment. There's been a lot of teams that have fallen short to this Kearney team. There was fans there that were coaches and parents of teams that had lost. There were siblings there. And so for them to embrace that moment, not only with their team, but everybody who went to Kearney to support them, was the most enjoyable moment for me.
Yeah, and having enjoyable moments sometimes are few and far between because this sport can be challenging. Obviously, you know, scheduling would be one of my biggest questions because you're in the summer and these kids want to enjoy their summer, but they obviously committed to the grind of playing for the majors. So kind of walk me through maybe the biggest challenge you guys face as a coaching staff.
Yeah, I mean, really, you're right. Working around summer vacations, these kids are kids and they need to be able to have their family vacations. These kids don't want to practice every day. They'd rather go fishing. They'd rather do the fun things that kids are supposed to do, but they're also very committed. And so that's been a huge commitment is for them showing up to practice each and every day and just being able to focus in on what we've been preaching to them the entire time.
Absolutely. And now you guys are headed to Indy. Bigger goals in mind. Kind of walk us through the expectations you guys had there for your Friday game.
Yeah, so we play Friday morning, and so we're the first game of that region. And we'll play a really good Missouri team that's been to Indy numerous times. And so we're going to go with the same expectations that we have each and every game up to this point, and that's to play smart baseball. We're going to be smart at the plate. And we're going to play sound defensively, which is what got us to where we are today. And so whether we're on a small stage or a big stage, you know, I think these kids are just ready to play ball. And so if we can play sound defensive baseball, I think we'll put ourselves in a position to where we can put in that extra grind and put us in a position where we need to manufacture just a couple runs and we'll walk away on top. And that's really what we're preaching to these kids.
Absolutely. And obviously you want to win a championship, but I think as a coach, most coaches I talk to have the same goal in mind. If we want to make these kids better players and better young men, we want to mold these guys into young men. So kind of walk me through kind of the farming system of, okay, they're 11 and 12 now. We want to kind of mold them to be the best baseball players they can as they get into high school for South Sioux City. Kind of, is that part of the goal that you guys have as coaching staff?
Yeah, it is 100% of that goal. And so we've really got a good group of supporters and board members with the South Sioux City Baseball Association and Cardinal Little League, where that is the plan. We progress from T-ball to coach pitch to the minors to the majors, which this group is, to then the juniors, and as it works into high school and Legion ball over in Nebraska as well. But that's the plan, is to progress not only as players, but as young men. And so that's one of the great things with Little League is that's what they really want you to teach is that integrity, the character, and we work on that each and every practice.
Absolutely. And your season continues. You have more time to work on that. We want to thank you for being here, Coach Kruger, and we wish you the best of luck in Indy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.